So unfortunately, I lost the original Minecraft world that I showed on this channel. Recently, I got a comment that asked to see what has been going on with Minecraft, which I'm surprised somebody even remembers this. So I thought I'd give you guys a tour of kind of what I'm working on after having lost that. As you can see, it's not finished. Compared to the old base, it's the same relative layout, but it is built the exact opposite. So I started doing the interior before the exterior. And I don't really know what the exterior is going to look like. Yeah, there's no really good way to show this off beyond, what we're just doing right now. Yeah, pretty much the goal here was just to size it up. I didn't like how cramped the original base was. Gonna walk up here. It started with this pillar right here, and kind of built everything out based on that. Don't really have much of the floor yet either, which is a little annoying, but uh, yeah, so we have our lava, which powers our furnaces, which is working hard on glass right now. And most of the materials here are not hard to get. The only thing that's bad is quartz. I'm always running out of quartz. So I have a trading hall that I might show. I don't know if it's really worth it or not. And so everything's getting funneled into covering this up, getting the roof onto this right now. So imagine this is just a flat, floor, maybe some trees poking through. I think I'm gonna keep some of the original terrain under here and just turn it into like a garden or something, and have just part of the floors kind of open up. Yeah, I've not gotten that far yet. But yeah, so the floor here, and then it goes down. You go down this staircase and into like a gigantic room. And I'm still thinking I'm going to keep all this original terrain. That was the goal with choosing this spot, is that there was a good highland and then a lowland that would have worked with what I wanted to do. And then there'll be 3 layers here, so up there is tall enough to do spruce trees. So there'll be 3 floors, 1, 2, and then 3. That's why it goes down. And then over here, there'll probably just be 1, 2, and then the third will be up there. But let's go up there. But eventually, I'll have elevators through all these just to make it easier to get up there. So let's go up one. Kind of my bedroom. It's been my bedroom since the beginning, is just inside that column there. So, yeah. A little messy. We'll probably go this way first. Yeah, everything's made to be walked around in, and there's no torch here. Why is there? There we go. Now it's art. But yeah, this will be a floor, and I'm not decided exactly what I'm going to be doing with it yet. If I ever get that far. I know one side will be the chest room, like the whole wing will just be chests and maybe some kind of sorting system. I'm not that redstone inclined, but I think it'd be interesting because we have the space to actually implement something like that, as well as it's not. I'm curious if there's any vertical designs for that rather than horizontal. Most of them I've seen is horizontal, but this space will eventually be my bedroom. So this whole area up here, and it would be overlooking over here. So this would be a walkable area, and it would be, and then that would leave this open as well as walk, and then you would overlook this area, which I don't really know what it's also going to do over here, but I'll show you my very fancy elevator to get down. So you just jump up here, go over here, and right here, and I have died so many times doing that. Different to me. So this is the goal, right? And you can flame me for using Java Edition and Bedrock Edition at the same time. I don't really care about the difference between the two. It's not that big of a deal to me. So this is the eventual goal of the space. Obviously, this is just a test world in creative, but designing in survival is incredibly difficult and very time consuming, and I just don't have time. So while I would like to do everything in survival, you can streamline quite a bit just by doing it in a creative world, and I'm okay with that. So this is kind of what I've. Oh my goodness, I don't know keybinds. So yeah, we're gonna keep on this side. So like I said, there's the 3 spruce trees. There's the pillars, and then the lower section, which I don't really know what I'm going to do with. I might open that back up instead of these windows here. But I really like this mid-section right here. It's a little bit too much quartz, in my opinion. And it's something I will have to address eventually. But one step at a time, right? My favorite part is just being able to get this sort of height and to be able to have a garden like this. My old base, I can only have, I don't remember how many spruce trees my old base allowed, but it was not much. You know, just 2 rows of them on this side and this side, which is way more than you really need. I do worry about that like sizing thing, but you can always have different trees in here. So you can either go down, there'll be a staircase right here, or this is on the current build right now. There's just a little staircase right here, which you can't even see from the ground, or you can see, but you wouldn't notice. And then just little, you know, tiny mouse doors going around. This is the office. Kind of a good idea of what it's supposed to look like. The only thing I don't really like is these arches right here. Oh, I know I've just pointed out a bunch of things I don't like, but these arches right here, they're just not doing it for me. I think the columns themselves shouldn't be smaller than the arches they support, right? And I'm not like, I don't know if it's a hard, fast rule, but it's something that concerns me. So I think we're going back to the drawing board on that. This is it currently. Oh, I guess on the other build, there's not these yet. So this is my concept for how the space will be filled. I don't know how to describe it. It's got nice shaping to it, I feel like, right? Like right in here. Oh, it's really nice. Obviously, that's not finished, but... So do let me know if you're interested in more content for this game. It just depends completely on user interest. I think it's the best way to kind of democratize things. Kind of finishing things off. It's very satisfying to see it come together. At least for me, it is. Yeah, it's not really a pivot of the channel. I've always wanted to be more of just a variety kind of thing. I don't want to burn myself out too quickly. You know, obviously, everything comes to an end eventually. It's just, I think an important question is to ask myself is what exactly I want out of this. You know, I've had this channel since 2016, so 9 years going on 10. And thinking about it in terms of, you know, I've been here, I've left, I've been here, I've left a number of times. You know, you can see eras and kind of how this just goes in general. You know, the time that we put into something, big or small, we want to evaluate. It's a good thing to evaluate the exact goal in mind. You know, where is the story going? Whenever I've written this first chapter here, and when would I consider it done? And oftentimes when you go into, you know, I bring it to writing because that's just what I think about and my experience. But in terms of writing, when you go into a story and you don't really have an ending planned, it ends up being pretty aimless. And I've never finished a story in which I didn't have an ending for, or at least a goal, like a goal for the story, even if it's just character based. Like, there's this climactic battle, or there's a redemption for this character, or this character gets to save this other character, And other times it's plot based, it's based on the character, or sorry, the story coming ahead, all the mystery getting resolved. And so, it's impossible to plan a story completely ahead of time, and there's always some kind of rewrite and reconsideration when you get through, and oftentimes that leads to a better product at the end. And so that's my goal with this channel, is to not necessarily give an end, but to bring us to something that's meaningful, to continue exploring. I think is meaningful, and what would bring the story, continue the story to another chapter, and still be worthwhile.